This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, good morning. Today is Wednesday, October 20th, and it's hard to believe we are already this deep into fall and moving into the fourth quarter. And we're starting to see some changes in the real estate market, and I'm sure all of you are experiencing that. It's an interesting time. We've had such an amazing year, and really what we're seeing now is we're moving back to a normal fall. It feels super slow because last fall was insanely busy, but really what is happening, we're starting to see more of our trends that are normal for this time of year. And I think it's something for us to be aware of and to consider as we work with our clients moving forward on activities. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But let's talk about what we're seeing nationally first before we go into what we're seeing locally. And so moving forward into our market report here, the experts are saying that, for instance here, Bill McBride from Calculated Risk, he says, my sense is the Case-Shiller national annual growth rate of 19.7% is probably close to a peak, and that year-over-year price increases will slow later this year. This is what the experts are saying, and I concur with that. So if we look at July year-over-year house appreciation, and July, this was the last big figure that we have, July. It shows that home prices from July of 2020 to July of 2021 averaged between 18% to 19.7%. This is across the country. This is an enormous rate of house appreciation in 1 year. Just amazing amount of added value, added equity to people who own homes. And that is basically what we are seeing, and this is what's happened across the country, between 18 and almost 20% house appreciation from July 20 to July 2021. So this is where it is scattered across the country, which is, I think, pretty interesting. We are seeing it, of course, here in Oregon, the West Coast, well over 20%. All the red is over 20%. The orange is 15 to 20%, and the darker blue, 10 to 15%, and the lighter blue is 5 to 10%. So you are seeing home price appreciation all across the country. And again, just look at this. We know that we have seen a massive amount of home price appreciation within our local market year over year. This is Q2 of 2021. So closings are set, however, to decline roughly 10% year over year in the second half of 2021, and home price appreciation is on the cusp of flipping to a decelerating trend. Now, that word decelerating does not mean prices are going down. It's just that the rate of increase is not going to be at that high level. So when people are saying, oh, where are prices going to drop? Well, I don't anticipate that overall home prices are going to drop. What we're anticipating, we may see individual homes that were priced very aggressively when we started in the, when we got to be such a strong seller's market and they didn't sell. We'll see them drop, but overall, we are not going to see prices drop, but we're going to see the rate of increase decelerate. So just keep that in mind. So here is the estimated home price performance from December to December. So the estimate for the remaining of 2021, we're thinking overall across the country, we'll see 11.74% increase in home values. In 2022, the price will go down to 5.82%, 23 just under 4%, and 24 and 25 back to about 3.5%, which is a normal price increase per year. This is we're getting back, the anticipation is we're going to get back to a more normal rate of increase of home values. And this is again, this is from the home price expectation survey. So this is what some of the experts, and these are the economists across the country who track this sort of stuff. This is what they're actually thinking is going to happen. So it's not to say that prices will drop and we're going to go back into a negative value for our homes, but the rate of increase is going to go back to a more normal rate. Again, this year really high, next year moderating. So if you think about it, however, even at 3 to 4 to 5%, over 5 years, as that accumulates over a 5-year period, we're still at a 31.8% expected accumulated price value increase over 5 years. So again, taking 2021 at 11.74 and then the average through 2025 at 5.7%. So that shows you that we can still expect that home values will increase, and people who buy now, even with our inflated prices, can expect through 2025 to see added equity added to their home. And that's one of the things that, you know, people will say, well, when are prices going to drop so that I can buy? Well, if you wait to buy, you're jumping on to the train at a later date when price is already up. But overall expectation of the experts is that that rate will continue to go up. So waiting for things to drop outside of some individual homes, you know, now is a good time to actually consider buy. And actually now, with more homes on the market, it is a better time to be considering purchasing. So this is some stuff that you could bring to your clients when you're working with your buyers who are hesitating, waiting for things to drop to buy. You know, if you wait, you're losing this opportunity to gain value to your home. So let's think about fourth quarter. What can we anticipate is going to happen in fourth quarter? Now, this is an interesting time. So typically, fall is usually the start of the slower season for the housing market, but nothing is usual in today's pandemic-driven housing market. Potential home buyers are seeing a slight rise in inventory and consequently rushing back into the fray. Mortgage applications to purchase a home jumped 7% last week from the previous week, and that's the highest level since April of this year. So this is from Diana Oleg, who is CNBC's real estate correspondent. So we are seeing an increase in buyers. You know, this is again is national trends. I've talked with a number of our brokers here, and we are seeing some buyers come back, but not anywhere near the rate it was back in 2020. I know that we had a lot of people who got very discouraged in multiple offers, heard of people who bought in other locations, people who came here during the summer when we were having all of our wildfires, and yeah, you had to say, there's mountains there, you know, and they couldn't see it, and it was like, I don't think it's worth it coming back here. But understand that there are buyers across the country who are encouraged when you see a rise in inventory and coming back into the market. Added homes, added options for people is very much a good thing. So how can we predict what home sales are going to be like? So if you take a look at this chart here, the blue line shows 2019, which was a normal real estate market, but a very good market. You know, it was a very, very good year in 2019.
Hey, Linnea.
And so, yeah.
I'm not seeing your split screen. Is there graphs that are supposed to be showing?
Yeah, you're not seeing the graph?
I'm not seeing the graph. I'm not sure if other people are experiencing that.
Is everyone seeing my screen? Yeah, you should be able to see it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm on my, probably why. Okay, no worries.
Yeah, Katie, if you're not seeing, what I can do is I can forward you these charts, and it will be recorded as well.
Okay.
So you can review it later. Yeah, I'm really sorry.
Oh, no worries. Continue. Thanks.
Okay. Anyway, the chart here is showing 2019, and then here's 2020. So 2020 started following the same trend at a higher level, and then of course COVID, and everything tanked. And then after COVID, not after COVID, but during COVID, all of a sudden everyone jumped into the housing market, and look at what happened going into the latter half of 2020. And so we basically, in the latter half of 2020, made up for the dip that happened in the earlier part of 2020. And it continued on in January, February, March. The green line here is 2021. So we're looking here at what has happened in 2020. We started at such a high level in January and February with home sales. And, you know, I think if you consider them that they, you know, dropping down is probably lack of inventory than anything else that caused that to happen. Everything got purchased at that point in time. But how to predict what's going to happen this second half of 2021 and into fourth quarter. So 2020 was nothing like the normal. Again, we had an amazing 2019, 2020 drop, and then the huge dip upward. Right now, when I'm blogging, as you know, I make my comparisons from this month compared to the same month a year ago, because I like to compare apples to apples. You can't necessarily go from the previous month because, you know, our normal trends, as you move into fall, things do drop off. So I always like to look at what happened the year before. Now, when I'm looking at what happened the year before, and we'll show that when we get to our own company trends and our own local market trends, it's hard to make that comparison because the end of 2020 was not normal. It's almost better to make a comparison against 2019. So this is what happened here. And this is why it seems like things are slowing down. When you, again, compare what happened in 2020, and we were at such a high rate of sales into October, November, December, January, February. It was amazing, and just feels slower just because it's more normal. So we're beating what happened in 2019. And again, 2019 was an outstanding year. We really had a very, very strong year in 2019, but we're ahead of what happened in 2019. So here's existing home sales. And if you look at December numbers for each year, so this is like a full year across the country, you can see that in 2019, there was a dip in 2018, but 2019, 2017, 2016 were all really, really, really good years for home sales. And then that's kind of like where we were for those years. So to predict the forecasting, what's going to happen, let's take a look at this green line and just kind of extrapolate it outwards. Will it stay level? If it stays level, we're going to be above 2019, which again was an outstanding year, but we'd be below 2020. So hard to know on that case. So this is kind of what happens normally, a normal market. Again, this is the green line's 2017, the blue line's 2018, and the gray line's 2019. And it shows you a normal across the country. We are usually slower January, February, March. We start getting listings April, May, June, July. We peak, and then coming into October, November, things fall off. That's active monthly listing counts. People pull their homes off the market, or they don't list moving into the holidays. They want to focus on other things. That's normal. That's a normal active listing count. So this is what happened in 2020. And you can see our peak was actually in April of 2020, as far as across the country. And then listings dropped off. You know, they did not go up. They dropped off throughout the course of the year in 2020. Some of that was tied in with COVID, people having hesitancy to put their homes on the market. But a lot of it was tied into the fact that people were buying homes as quickly as they hit the market. So the active listings just dropped off tremendously because homes were being snapped up. So the challenge moving forward, in the last half of 2020, when sales went up, but listings, the last half, fall down. So it was closing the listing gap. How many sellers are now comfortable to list that normally would list? Or has the market changed to such an extent that people are holding on to their property, holding on to their homes? It's the issue that we have right now is to get more inventory on the market, so there's more opportunities. And you know, as we all know, it's basic economics, supply and demand. As we've had so much demand for a limited supply, that's what's pushed the prices up to the level it has. And so we're concerned about getting more inventory on to meet the demand of our buyers. Remember, a balanced market is about 5 to 6 months of supply. We haven't had a balanced market in Bend since probably 2012, 2013. I mean, coming out of the recession, we had a lot of pent-up inventory. Once that started being snapped up, we went to about 3-4 months supply. We haven't been up to that level of a balanced market in which, you know, you have equal amount of homes that hit the market that are bought over time by an equal number of buyers. It's been a long time since we've had that, but this crazy level of sellers market that we've had, in which we've had less than a month's worth of inventory, it's starting to turn, which is good for buyers. So when will listings peak in 2021? You know, they're starting to creep upward a little bit. So projections, I don't know. Are we going to be peaking with listings coming into November, December, which is totally out of whack for a normal market, but it may be the trajectory towards coming to a more balanced market. We'll see. I don't know. So here's the projections. Coming up in December, November, 2 staying balanced or 3 dropping off. I'm not sure. I know that within our own brokerage, we're getting more listings. I think that's awesome. I think it's great. Some of our brokers are saying that they're getting a lot of activity. In other cases, they're saying they're not getting any activity whatsoever. A lot of that can be tied in with pricing. Our sellers, again, pricing their homes the way they may have wanted to price them back in April and May when things were selling as quickly as we could list them? Or are we now at a point where there's more inventory so buyers can be pickier about what they want and they don't want to overpay for homes? So I talk with people, find out what's going on with their listings. You guys can share that too. What are you seeing? Anytime you guys want to interject and let me know what you're seeing, please feel free. So 3 reasons listings may continue to increase throughout this fall and into the winter. Again, there's pent-up selling demand. Homeowners may be more comfortable putting their homes in the market as more and more Americans are getting vaccinated. 2, new construction is starting to take off. There will be more options for current homeowners to consider when they sell. A lack of option has slowed many potential sellers in the past, and that's true. People, well, yes, I would love to sell my home now. It's at the peak of the market, but where would I go? And then again, 3, the end of forbearance will create new listings. Now, we've talked a little bit about that. The forbearance program will not lead to a wave of foreclosures for several reasons. Instead of going into foreclosure, the homeowners will be able to sell their homes and have enough equity to more than cover the expenses of selling. So as people move out of that and they're way behind in making their mortgage payments and the lender starts the foreclosure process, these people may be more likely to list and then sell, pay off the loan, and still have some equity left in their pocket. So that's one thought about what will happen to this fall and to winter. So a little bit about interest rates, which is also quite interesting. What's happening with interest rates? Now we're all starting to see that. Come on, move forward here. So the single biggest risk to housing is rising mortgage rates. And it's a real possibility in the next year. And that could bring prices down. Further, other economic, financial, and confidence challenges could also result in a drop or flattening of home prices, even with solid buyers in place. But a drop or flattening in home prices is a far cry from the crash we saw during the Great Recession. And that's very true. Mortgage interest rates decrease the buying power of people. It's obvious. So this is what's been happening with the mortgage interest rates. So Freddie Mac 30-year fixed rates. So in January of 2020, it was at 3.7%, which was a great interest rate. It dropped. It went up and down a little bit, but it dropped into early part of 2021. And then in April, it blipped up, then it came back down again. But now we're starting to see a creep up again. We're at 3% right now, which is still historically an amazing interest rate. I know I've talked with people who said that they bought their first home. I remember my first home. I mean, we didn't qualify actually for a traditional interest rate. We were doing one of those rates where all you paid, mortgages, all you paid was actually the interest payments. And of course, you would be accumulating all your principal. And then the idea that, that was one of those mortgages that enabled a lot of first-time home buyers to get into the market. But my first traditional interest rate was 8%. And I thought that was great. That was back when people were getting like 9, 10% interest rates. So a 3% interest rate is phenomenal, historically amazing, but it's up versus where it was. So when mortgage rates jump above 3%, many factors have led to this increase, including the Federal Reserve communicating that it will taper its support of the capital markets, the broadening of inflation, and emerging energy supply shortages, which compound other labor and materials shortages. So this is what's happening with our mortgage interest rates. So if you look at it, here's the projections about what people think is going to happen. So we're looking at fourth quarter, the average of Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, Mortgage Bankers Association, and National Association of Realtors. They all think it's going to be about 3.18%. First quarter of 22, average 3.33%. Second quarter of 22, 3.45%, and third quarter of 2022 up to 3.55%. So we'll see if that holds true. These are projections. Still under 4%, still historically phenomenal, but the slight change could make the difference for some of our first-time home buyers on whether or not they can afford a home. So where are they actually going? What they were and where we project they're going to go, or where the experts project they're going to go. They're going to go up. That's the projection, but how far? If they can keep them under 4%, that is still amazing. It's an amazing interest rate, but changes things. So if you think about the cost of waiting, take a look at this here. Mortgage interest rates. Here's the chart. If you're buying a $400,000 home at 4% interest rate, your loan amount is $1,900 versus 3%, in which the loan amount is $1,686, and at 2.75, it's $1,633. Almost a difference of almost $300 a month for a home buyer between 2.75% and 4%. So if you look at this, take it that 2.7, that $1,600 a month mortgage payment. Where is it going to be? That $1,600 mortgage payment, it's going to be at a $340,000 home versus a $400,000 home. So again, the buying power changes tremendously as interest rates go up. So higher interest rates, the less home that someone can buy. Another good reason why people should be buying now versus the future, if they need to get a loan, obviously. So home ownership is one of the fundamental keys to accumulating wealth in America. Hence why it has been integrally linked to achieving the American dream. Not only can owning a home provide a roof over your head and secure a place to live, but because mortgage payments generally remain fixed while rents may rise over time, a home can also be a very effective hedge against inflation. Together, these features can give homeowners an enormous advantage over renters when it comes to accumulating wealth. That's one of the key things to think about. When you have a mortgage payment, it's fixed. And you know what your monthly payments will be. When you're a renter, you don't necessarily know when it comes time to renew your lease. I know in Oregon, we can only increase it so much, but it's going to go up. Potentially could go up no more than certain rates, but the thing is, it will go up. But with a mortgage payment, you have a fixed cost, and you know it's going to be every month, and you can plan accordingly to that. Any questions on any of this before we get into our local stuff? Great. So here's something else to consider. The potential growth in household wealth over the next 5 years based solely on increased home equity if you purchase a $350,000 home in January of 2021. So that's based on price appreciation projected by the Home Price Expectation Survey. Remember, it's going to be roughly 5% on an average over these 5 years. So you buy a $350,000 home in January of 2021, and look what it's worth in January of 2026. The increase for those homeowners over $111,000. That's why we all know that home ownership is the most used and the most effective way historically across the country for the average person to accumulate wealth. And it has made such a difference in so many people's lives. And that's why owning a home is such an important component of the American dream. Okay, let me get out of that and let me go from here to what's happening locally for us. So any questions before we get to the local stuff on what we're seeing across the country? Does this also fit what you are seeing in your own experience? And if anyone has anything they want to interject, please unmute your mic and feel free. Okay, if not, I'm just going to move on ahead. So, as I said earlier, when you're comparing 2021, the fall, early winter of 2021 versus, 2020 versus 2021, you're looking at a time in which the market was going crazy, way outside the norm. So I'm looking at these figures and I'm like, I almost should also put another category in here of 2019. So we can look at what a normal market was like. But the thing is, we are still really doing really well. It's pretty amazing here. So in 2021, we had 26 new listings. 2020, we had 21. So we're up 24% in our listings over the year before. With the volume of those listings from almost $12 million in 2021 to almost 19 million in 2020. Excuse me, reverse that. 12 million in 2020 to almost 19 million in 2021. Our pending sales, however, have started to drop off. So instead of the 57 we had in 2020, we had 41 in 2021. We're down 28%. Our close volume is down also 37%, from 73 in 2020 to 46 in 2021. But again, I looked at, personally, I didn't put this out in the chart, but I looked at what we did in 2019. We're up over what we did in 2019, which is where we need to start making our comparisons. But our year-to-date volume, if you look at that, we've sold over 406 homes versus 378. But the volume increase, we're at 260 million in year-to-date volume versus 203 in 2020. And that is just amazing, amazing figures for us. So again, looking at the bin residential September of 2021, this is, again, incorporates Sun River in here, so it's not as accurate as I like it to be if you just pull out bin itself. But you can see that the number of listings are up. The red line is the active listings. New listings are coming down, following more of the normal trend. And sold listings, we're starting to balance out. We're starting to get more of a level line right now because we're selling what we had entered into contract a couple months before. Listing prices are starting to level off. So the active median price, again, it's around just under 800,000. A new median price, it's still going up a slight bit. At the sold median sales price is again starting to balance out. Absorption rate, now this again is the amount of inventory we have, and this is a good thing. We're starting to actually go up in inventory levels. So we had dropped below 1 month supply, but now we're going up to almost 1.5, 1.6 months. Sold to list ratio, this was the multiple offers we saw during the summertime. Things were selling at 103, 104%. Now we're dropping down to selling around 99%. That means we're starting to get some negotiations. We're seeing counter offers. We're seeing buyers come in and offering less than full price, and sellers starting to consider that, not coming back and saying, take it my way or the highway. So days on market also. We had gone back up to almost 40 days on market, average cumulative days on market, down to around 27 days on market, but still, that's better than it was at the 10 days that it was averaging before. And then price volume. So the active list volume is going up. That means we have more active listings. Good thing. New list volume is dropping off normal for this time of year, and the sold volume is kind of averaging out. Again, selling what we got into contract during the summer. So again, here's my thing I always like to look at here. Bend single family residential on less than an acre. That's always the thing I'm always making comparisons against. So in 2021, we had 303 active listings. In 2025, 95, so we're down 49% in active listings, following a normal curve. New listings, 233 versus 273, down 14%. New pendings, still pendings are up in our market, up 36%, but solds are starting to drop off 20%. Sold volume down a little bit over 2020, obviously with the number of solds having dropped off 20%, we're down in volume 6%. So that tells you that the things that are selling are at a higher price than they were before. The average sales price, again, $789 versus $667. So we're up 18% of value, home value. Median sales price is $650 versus $549, up 18%. Percentage of to list price, roughly 100%, a little bit up there, and then months supply, we're going back up, which is a good thing. And where does Ben Premier rank here? We're still in 5th position at $280,000. Again, a little higher than my other chart because we double in some things, and so that counts twice on MLS, which to me is just an amazing thing to think about when you consider we are an office of 50 people, and you guys, you just do a phenomenal job as far as getting things together. I mean, the average sales price of our listings are $655,000. We are just doing phenomenally well, and I think it's tremendous what you guys have been able to do. So questions and comments about this? Any thoughts about what you're seeing here? Because I would like to open this up for anyone to give me some feedback on what they're seeing in the market. I know within our own brokerage, we're starting to see things sell that has been sitting on the summer at a higher price if we bring the price down. We all know anything will sell at the right price. New listings that are coming on that are priced per market are selling immediately. Things that are coming on that are priced over market are sitting. So it's one of those things we need to consider having a good conversation with our sellers as we move into the fall. If things are not, if we're not getting any showings, if we're not getting any feedback from agents who are showing the properties saying, yeah, this home sells great, we think it's perfectly well priced, or if we're not getting any showings whatsoever, it's usually price that's controlling that. Any feedback from anybody here? Anyone want to comment about this? Okay, then going on further, haves or wants. Does anyone have haves or wants they want to talk about? Buyer needs or seller needs?
I do, Linnea. I have buyers up to 2 million looking for Sunrise Village, Woodgie Creek, first on the hillsides,
Okay.
and they're ready to go. They want to be close to trails because they're avid cyclists. So if anybody has anything coming up, and let me know. Thank you.
Sunrise Village or First in the Hill? Okay, that's great.
Woodgie Creek would work. Parts of Tetherow, it's a little exposed for them, so maybe back along Meeks Trail, something like that.
How high can they go, Sherry?
2 million.
2 million. Oh my. Okay. So you would think they have a lot of opportunity at that price.
They're very picky. They actually farmed specific homes in Sunrise Village for them for years, so they know what they want and they're willing to wait for it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Very good. Okay, thanks, Sherry. And Cinda?
Yeah, I have a new listing that's going to go live on Friday. It's almost a half acre, 4-bedroom, 2-bath home on Jacinto in South, almost near Sun River. It's got quartz countertops, stainless steel. It's got a laundry room, bathroom that leads to a door leading to your backyard. So it's really great for entertaining. It's near the river. Great RV space, lots of space for the family and kids. Just got this country feel. Really super 1,900 square foot home. And when I get back from California, I'm going to go ahead and open it up and do some open houses. And I'm just hoping to get some action.
Wonderful. Thanks, Cinda.
Going on market for $669.
Okay, great.
You know, I have another, I'm wondering if you've all have met my daughter, Chelsea, who's partnered with me. Chelsea, are you still on? I wonder if she isn't. Maybe she had to leave. We do have a couple of listings that will be coming up the latter part of November, and one in January, one in Lane Knowles. Those are 2.5 acre parcels. This one does not have views, but just a really tidy home. All bedrooms are up. Don't really have a price yet. Looking probably in the 9s. And then we have another really great listing coming up on Northview, very rare offering off of Shepherd. We'll be listing coming soon, probably November 12th. This couple is transitioning to the Alexander, which is where Chelsea and I took a tour on their behalf. And really, if any of you would like to tour with us, small groups, they have a very generous referral program for clients. This is just like apartment living, it's not assisted living. But anyway, this particular home is on a cul-de-sac at single level, and it's 0.75 of an acre, and it backs Hollingshead Park. So we're working through getting them moved out on Friday. Then the estate company will come through, prepare the house for a week. The sale will be a week, and then we'll go ahead and list it. So just a couple of really unique listings coming up.
Sounds great, Sherry. And thank you for that information about the Alexandria. I did send that email out to the office, so hopefully people will, if they have clients that would work for, doing a tour. And you said they have a generous referral program, which is awesome.
They show you the options for living. There's, really, it's like a hotel. There's a barbershop, a beauty salon, a yoga studio, a bar, 2 restaurants, workout room, rooftop garden. You can, see Pilot Butte in the mountains. And so his thought was, Dan, he's the coordinator, just said, we'll tour you around, then take you upstairs for wine and cheese and answer any questions you might have. So small groups, like I said, 6 at a time. They have had their first COVID outbreak, so this may have changed. I haven't been in touch with him in the last couple of days, but if anybody's interested, maybe latter part of November, something like that.
Great, thanks, Sherry. Thanks so much. Anybody else?
Yes, I have a buyer want specifically in the neighborhood of River West. Really, location in that proximity is important. It can really be any square footage or specs. So if anyone has anything coming up or knows of anything off market, send them my way. Thanks.
What's your price, Katie?
I think it would be, well, certainly under 1 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. Colleen? Colleen?
Linnea,
I can't hear. Yeah, Tina?
Yeah, is Colleen there or not?
No. She had unmuted her mic, but she did not say anything, so I just, let's
Okay.
go to you.
Okay, I have a buyer need up to 800. They want at least 5 acres with irrigation. They're willing to go to Prineville, Redmond, Terrebonne. They don't want Crooked River Ranch area. Bend, obviously. The house isn't super important or the size, just more privacy and something for, 5 acres with irrigation. And then I just put a new listing on in Tumalo Rim. It's incoming soon. It is 1,852 square feet, 3 bedroom, 2 baths on 0.82 of an acre. It's been completely remodeled. New paint on the outside, new windows. The whole inside is completely new. New flooring. AC, new furnace, new kitchen, white cabinets, stainless steel, quartz counters, new bathrooms, tile showers. I'll have the rest of the photos probably the end of October, the first week in November, and then it will go live. So if anybody has any interest in that area, it's priced at $924.9, and it'll be vacant and easy to show once it comes on. So give me a call if you have any interest. Thanks.
Great, thanks, Tina. Now, Colleen, do you want to try again? I did get your chat there, but you want to try again? Your mic's on. I don't know why we're not hearing you. Can you try one more time? Yeah, we're just not hearing you, but I can say here that for the chat, Colleen has a manufactured home on 1 acre coming later this month in La Pine. It's going to be priced around $350,000 and it's 1,800 square feet. Is there anything else, Colleen? I don't know why we can't hear you because your mic's on. I'm really sorry. Katie?
Yes, I have one other buyer want, either, well, in Northwest Crossing in that area. It can be an apartment, a condo, just really any square feet, just proximity in that area is really important. And haven't really seen anything come up over there, especially in her price point, which is under, $650. Yeah, under $650. So if anyone knows anything coming available, let me know. I'm also is there new construction over there that are small apartments that are similar to the base camp? Does anyone know information on those?
Anyone else have some thoughts for Katie on that? Any ideas? I personally haven't heard of anything, Katie, but that's
Or
not to
maybe
say
they're
it's
not
not something.
construction, but they're right across from that new modern building that has all the co-op eateries in it on the other side of the street. And there's apartments is what it looks like. And they're really similar design of the condos and apartments that are over near the box factory. I'm totally blanking the name of that development. But anyway, that's essentially the area. So, yep, thanks.
Okay, so they end up being a condos or something that you have a client who might be interested in those. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Anyone else with anything?
Yeah, hi Linnea, it's Angelique. Can you hear me?
Hi, Angelique.
Hi, yeah. So I do have some clients, they're looking for, it's been a little bit challenging. They would really like 5 bedrooms. They have 4 kids. We'd like 5 bedrooms, a minimum of 4,000 square feet, up to 2 million. They really wanted it like pretty modern and move-in ready, but hasn't been many options. So now they're willing to take on a project too. So if anybody has even 4 bedrooms with the possibility of turning something else into a 5th bedroom, but in addition an office too, because he works from home, let me know, because they'd be willing with the right floor plan to take on a project too. So they don't want acreage, but a half an acre, Aubrey Butte's probably fine, but no acreage.
Do they need to be in town, Angelique? Or
Yeah.
can they be out in the, they do?
No, they want to be in Bend. They're moving from Seattle, and I think they like being in town and closer to things.
Any specific school district, or are they open to all parts of town?
Yeah, sorry, they want to be on the northwest side of town.
Okay, northwest, okay. All right. Okay, anything else from anybody? Anybody else, anything? Okay, if not, I think that's all we have for today. Thank you, everybody, and please let us know as we move into fall. I sent out that email about the fact that our admin staff has more time on their hands, and they would love to work with you on helping you with developing a client retention program, working through planning your marketing for this next year. I'm here as well. Love to work with you guys. So please let us know what we can do to help. Thanks so much, and we'll talk later.